Kindly come over the dais and take your respective seats. The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. So when you see in the mirror, you only look at your point of view. But when the mirror is turned into window, you see the whole world's perspective on a certain topic. Also, as the Nobel Prize winning biochemist from Hungary, Albert Szent-Györgyi once said, research is to see what everybody else has seen and at the same time think what nobody else has thought. Such brainstorming, academic get-togethers not only give us a platform to showcase our work, but also leads to interaction and exchange of ideas, thereby encouraging interdisciplinary research activities. It motivates budding researchers, instills research attitude, and gives chance to get direction over one's loopholes and limitations. So with this, I would like to request Chairman PG Council, Fakir Mohun University, Professor Munish Chandra Adhikari, to kindly come over and deliver the welcome address. Sir.
Today's occasion, so-called Dr. Padmalcha Rautrai, Dr. Santosh Kumar.
We Indians have displayed to the world many more things beyond human imagination. But if we look at the Quacquarelli-Simons rating or Times Higher Education rating, our universities are not promisingly doing what is expected. That's why the focus of the policymakers, administrators, and the funding agencies is to improve our potential so that our papers can be published in high-impact journals, our research thesis can be displayed as an example in various foreign universities of higher repute, and that's the focus of such kind of conclave where students will be oriented. We have many limitations too, but we have to overcome. While interacting with the students who have made lots of poster presentations, I found also they need improvement, but I also congratulate them for taking the step to come up and interact with others and trying to display that they want to be a researcher. Being and pursuing a career of research is very difficult, but it is not impossible. A researcher is always a learner. I will not take much time, but I will say, Dr. Albert Einstein, an all-time philosopher so far scientific inquiry is concerned, he once said, the rarest and most common of an intellectual trait is the capacity to doubt the obvious. Scientific inquiry starts from doubting the objective and subjective things that happen around us. And in a similar way, most of our students fail to conceptualize a research problem. And that's why many of our research methodologies face a lot of ambiguities when we try to write a thesis, develop a paper, or try to write down a concept note, or trying to put a paper in a proceeding, in a conference proceeding. All are different things. We have to know, continuously interacting with our supervisor, making strong attention to the editorial reviews. When we submit a paper, we get critical reviews. And for research, we need critical thinking. Therefore, a philosophical or scientific inquiry must start with critical thinking. And critical thinking is something very different from memorizing, understanding, or calibrating our brain. Because when we ask something, a student asks where it is available. So many a time, research should not start from books. Research should start from your own introspection, understanding, reasoning, continuous interaction with the environment. Because most of the research today, the foundation of research, Aristotle, Plato, Thales, Socrates, they have really gave a foundation of research from the interaction of man and nature. That's why it may be objective thinking or subjective thinking. It is always our reasoning capacity, critical thinking. And at last I will say that this poster presentation will definitely help students to write papers, and whatever feedback. In management category, I have seen 8 presentations and I have interacted with all the 8 scholars. told them categorically what improvements they need to make it a full-length paper so that it can be accepted, at least in an index journal. We should also know the difference between what is an index journal, what is a peer-reviewed journal. So we should have the awareness of it. At last I will say, a problem accurately defined solves half of the problem. That means when we are entering into a program called doctoral program or a MPhil program which has been abolished by the recent national education policy. When we are entering into a doctoral program, we must take enough time to define our research problem. What exactly a research problem is, what variables will constitute a problem, what kind of data I will require, whether the data is available or not, the data collection process is feasible or not, the exact word I am using in the caption of the title, whether this is ambiguous or very much clear. So a researcher must move from abstraction to concreteness or crystallization of a problem. The more the things are abstract, lesser the probability of being successful as a researcher. That's why when you are feel disappointed, disheartened, follow the life of great researchers. How they have problem, what kind of problems they have encountered, how they have overcome it. Research varies from domain to domain. Methodology will vary from science to physical science. Even in social sciences, also methods will vary from anthropology to sociology to management. But the generic framework always remains. Human mind is a fertile mind. Make your mind so much fertile that anything happen around you, as a researcher, capture it as a problem, narrate it, define it, try to solve it. Definitely, you will come out with flying colors. Fakir Mohan University has tremendous potential. It's a 20 years old university. I became a student from 2004, 2007 to 9 as a postgraduate student, 2013 to 17 as a PhD student. I found a lot of difficulties, but still I also find immense human capital of this university. Young teachers like Nihar sir, Santosh sir, Osant sir, they're very young, and many young faculties have joined in the recent past also. As an alumni of this university, I request them, they have the major responsibility of creating a legacy of this institution so that it will stand as an exemplary for other budding universities and old universities of this state. I also request to our Vice Chancellor sir, who belongs to my fraternity, as a person of human resource management and as a pioneer in the field of human resource management, I request you, sir, to kindly improve the infrastructure for research of this university. And also, I request you to at least create a platform so that the institutional subscriptions for database like Web of Science or Scopus, and for qualitative research, the softwares like Atlas TI or Word Cloud and many other softwares, comprehensive meta-analysis, these softwares are very costly. So if institutional subscription is possible, I request you, sir, to kindly get funds from the government so that our research scholars and our teachers will have the privilege to conduct their qualitative and quantitative research and publish high-impact papers in index journals. My humble submission is before all of you that a researcher's life is just like a journey. Without fetching the privileges of a destination, we must make our journey clear, because it's always the journey that leads to a destination. The paradox is mean end. We should not fall in the trap of Niccolo Machiavelli, where we say end justifies means. As a researcher, as a teacher, and as a faculty, as a fraternity where we believe that wisdom is supreme, we must think mean always succeed, ends fail. Therefore, I request everyone, make your mind fertile, enthusiasm should be bottomless, and growth, development, prosperity, sustainability is obvious. With this, I am indebted to Fakir Mohan University, its authorities, convener of this program, for giving me this opportunity to come from Barampur University, sharing my views here. Thank you all.
तो जो आम गर्व करुचे मु प्रथमे से मनीषी फकीर मोहन चरण में प्रणाम टे करी जहाँ जन्मभूमि हूँ बालेश्वर आउ जड़े सेमती मनीषी जी कि बालेश्वर को कर्मक्षेत्र बोली भावी ए मैन फ्रॉम द फील्ड ऑफ साइंस जे कि डॉक्टर एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम तांकु मध्य मु आरंभ रे प्रणाम करी कहीं जदि सारा वर्ल्ड रे सारा पृथ्वी रे सारा भारत रे आज किए के बालेश्वर को जानुचे चांदीपुर आईटीआर पाई आपण माने समस्ते भी जानी थिबे केते तार प्रसिद्धि एवं केते तार आ जोठी की ये हूँ मानस पुत्र आपणकर एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम तो ये दुई जन को मोर हार्दिक सम्मान जन सारा पर पुणी आउ गोटे सम्मान जनइबी कोरोना को कोरोना आम मान पाखर बहुत आमर नियर डियर रिलेशन को छड़े नहीं किंतु कोरोना आपणकर ये जो रिसर्च पर जी अवदान कर एकविंश शताब्दी रे भूलिबा कष्टकर आपणकर अतीत रे बहुत पैंडेमिक है प्लेग कलेरा स्पेनिश फ्लू बहुत है सबुथिरे देखा जाए पैंडेमिक कंट्रोल हवा को 4 ରୁ 5 वर्ष जाए किंतु देखंतु एबे आमे जो कोरोना भया सारा विश्व रे जो थे कि हाएस्ट मोर्टालिटी बर्तमान सुधा जिते पैंडेमिक होता सब अधिका मरीचंती एथिरे तथापि भी आमे ताको 2 वर्ष पूरी नहीं ताको आमे कंट्रोल करिया को बसिले एफिशिएंट वैक्सीन आमे बाहर करछु वैक्सीन आमे एक्सपोर्ट करछु सो ये जो जिनिस संभव है एटा होची रिसर्च आपण मान भाया रिसर्च स्कॉलर परिश्रम आउ ये जो रिसर्च फल तेणु करी ये जो कोरोना आमको बहुत शिखई रिसर्च अर्थ होची
Commerce and Management group, we have participants from Commerce and Management, and the award goes to Priyanka Priyadarsini of Business Management. Priyanka Priyadarsini.